the way we played in both halves, it was like the coronavirus. We were battling, we were pressing it down, you know, we were getting to a stage where, hang on a minute, we could win this, and then something comes along and screws you over like the Montreal screw job. Wigan Athletic 1, Doncaster Rovers 0, the first defeat of the campaign. You just knew something like this was coming. Look, I'm a realist, right? I'm a realist, so I'm not gonna, come out and say, yeah, we had good attacking spells. We could definitely win this. Just chin up, lads. Get up for next week. I'm a realist, and we've seen this in past occasions, to be fair, in past seasons. Well, we started strong, got a mid-table October. The season, in fact, where we got promoted to the Championship, the latest time we got promoted to the Championship, which was the 2012-2013 campaign. When we got promoted to the Championship, we had a very good, August, September. October, we had a mid-table October, and then just started rising all the way through the winter, and then a good spring, and then we ended up getting promoted in May. And are we going to follow that pattern? Maybe. I mean, we've got no one else to blame but ourselves today. Absolutely got no one else to blame but ourselves today. So before we get started in talking about the game, and then talking about my player ratings and my final thoughts on what we need to do for next week, let's show you my predicted lineup again. So that will be on your screen right now. Brilliant. And you can see there, just to remind you what the team was, for those of you who need a reminder of what my predicted lineup actually was. Bursick in goal, Halliday, Wright, Anderson, James, Whiteman, Gomez, Coppinger, Richards, Taylor and John Jules. And then, of course, I had substitutes like Cameron John for Jiri Okunabiri, Ed Williams, Lewis Jones, Danny Amos, Andy Butler. I put Lyric Hassani on the bench as well. And to be honest, as much as the result is poor, this was my first predicted, team of the season, because the official lineup came out and it was the exact same one that I predicted. It was the exact same lineup that I guessed going into this game. Bursick in goal, Halliday, James, Anderson, Wright, Gomez, Whiteman, Taylor, Richards, John Jules and Coppinger. So the same result, the same thing that I was thinking was going to be the lineup. And then on the bench, Jones, Okunabiri, Amos, Williams, Butler, John and Hassani. So the lineup was the right one that I predicted. So I've got no, problems with that. It's good to get a nice predicted. It's nice to get a predicted result, but unfortunately the result didn't combat that. So let's talk about the game now. So looking at that game, the first half, the weird thing is, we had loads and loads of chances. We put loads and loads of chances through. Richards was creating. The link up between John Jules and Taylor was great in the first half. We had a great first half plan, and then the second half we were berate of ideas, it felt like. We were just completely berate with ideas. And, the second half just completely collapsed. And, of course, we conceded that goal in the 59th minute. And didn't I tell you in the preview yesterday, Joe Garner was going to be a surprise package. He didn't show anything against Portsmouth last weekend. I said to you guys that he will be a surprise package because he is a natural goal scorer, so we need to keep him quiet. What did I tell you? Joe Garner scores, and you know what? I don't even blame them, to be honest, because all the chances we missed in the first half, and I said it. I said in that preview we needed more composure, we needed more clinicalness in the first half, especially because that was one thing that was missing from the Bristol Rovers match, the Bristol Rovers victory. We needed more 1-2s, more composure, more clinicalness in the first half to equal the second half performance. It seems like it was a role reversal this time. The first half, loads and loads of chances, but just need to put them away. Second half, completely gone. We should have been out of sight before the second half, but Wigan just took the advantage and we didn't score after that. There are a couple of instances though, where I'll defend Donny Rovers and say the referee was an absolute joke. Absolute joke. Wigan players crying like the big bad wolf, help, help, it grazed John Jules's arm. And the referee goes, oh, like a Dumbo, yeah, we'll give it, free kick, whatever it was. Referee's an absolute dumb bat. If that's even a word, a dumb bat, which is a bat that struggles to fly. But one big thing I've been thinking about since that game ended is why Okunabiri came on. And I know it's minutes, it's, Okunabiri can come on, he showed great signs, he could have showed great signs with more time in the Bristol Rovers match. There's a reason why, one, Okunabiri is a forward, not a winger, and two, there's a reason why he isn't getting minutes, because John Jules is better at the minutes, and Okunabiri, when he came on today, just performed averagely, in my opinion. And I don't like slating off the players. I really, really don't, because I love every single one of those players to bits. I love this whole team to bits. I love this club to bits. Donny Rovers, Rovers till I die. I love it to bits. And I hate to be critical, but as a presenter and as a journalist who is a massive fan of this club, you've got to look at both sides and you've got to be neutral, and you have to say that away from Rovers, we were poor in that second half today. We have to be blunt, and we have to say, we have to be critical, we have to be blunt, we have to be honest, we have to be brutally honest and say the Rovers second half was not good enough, in my opinion. And you know what? I'd give man of the match to Ben Whiteman. I think he controlled the midfield quite nicely. Matchday Gomez was one of my biggest disappointments today. Where was he today? It was a complete drop-off. Apart from the goals that he scored in the previous games, I think today he just showed his average performance. I think he showed the average Gomez from last season, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because Gomez has started off really, really well. And I wanted him to continue that and keep it going. But we just didn't. We didn't. And, Matchday Gomez really does need to pick himself up in the next game. Obviously, our next game will be in the EFL Trophy. We're facing Oldham away from home on the Tuesday. So I'm going to probably release a preview for that on Monday. And then we've got our next league game on Saturday, and we face Shrewsbury Town, who got a decent result against Gillingham today. So we need to fix up big time for Tuesday against Oldham, whoever we're playing that game, and then the rest of the squad, along with the players that may play in Shrewsbury as well, they need to be 100% bang on for that game. Hopefully, Tulloch will be back for the Shrewsbury game. I really hope Tulloch is back for that game, because Coppinger, yes, he did good. I'm not going to lie, he did do good. He picked up a yellow, which is, unlike Coppinger. But I think Coppinger could have done a little bit better today. I think he could have done a bit better. But I think he fills the slot on the right-hand side. He fills the slot, absolutely. But we need Tulloch back. We absolutely need Tulloch back. We need his magic feet back on Saturday against Shrewsbury. So it's going to be a big one on Saturday. It's the first defeat this season, so this is the toughest result to pick your head up from, because you've got to pick yourself up and get out there on Tuesday against Oldham and then back out there on Saturday against Shrewsbury. And you've got to pick yourself up for that game to get 3 points back on the board. Bursick, to be fair, he's one of the guys that probably prevented it from being 2 or 3-0 to Wigan. I think he made a couple of excellent saves, and I think that he could have been an outsider contention for man of the match today. I think that he saved us a couple of times in that second half, so I think that he was good. Joe Wright, I think he had an average game today, and that's not being mean, that's just me being honest about his play today. I think he was average today. I think Tom Anderson was the better centre back, and Halliday and James were good at fullback, but just in case Halliday didn't perform good and performed averagely, this is where we need a right back that can cover for him now. Not just Charlie Seaman, and I've chatted to the guy privately. He's a great guy, love chatting to him. I can't wait to see him in a Rovers shirt next season. But since he's out on loan, and there is the option to recall him, but if he's on loan at Maidstone United in the National League South and he can't be recalled yet, then we have to, by the end of Monday, because that is the transfer deadline, we need to sign like a loanee from the Premier League or a free agent right back. We need another right back in that squad and another holding midfielder, because once Tulloch comes back in, I'm sure Coppinger will probably be back on the bench and Tulloch will be on the wing. But But we do need an extra right back. We absolutely need an extra right back, and we need another holding midfielder. And you know what? Actually, thinking about it, the Tulloch injury and the Lakilo injury, yes, Coppinger played all right on the right wing today, but it's one of those points, and I said this in the past, we need another out-and-out winger. I don't care whether it's a free agent or a Premier League loanee. We need one more out-and-out winger. Not a versatile player, but a winger. And I think we need another out-and-out winger because we need the versatile players to focus on their preferred positions. Coppinger's a cam, Richards is a cam, Williams is a cam. They can versatile as right wing, Coppinger or Williams, not Richards of course, but and obviously Okunabira can play on the right as well, but they need to focus on their preferred positions, keep training, keep working hard, and we need to get another out-and-out winger just in case Taylor gets injured, or Tulloch gets another injury, or Lakilo comes back and gets another injury. So we need one more out-and-out winger to compete for a place in that team. So, and we need a little bit more squad depth. I think it's very, very clear. So, I mean, and John Jules, he showed some stuff in the first half, but just wasn't clinical with any of his chances, and then in the second half, just the rest of the squad, total capitulation after that. So let's get straight into the player ratings. And there's not going to be anything higher than a 7 today, I'll warn you that now. But let's get straight into the player ratings. So starting off in goal, Joseph Bursic gets a 6 for me. I think that's a decent rating for him. Made a couple of decent saves, and he saved it from being 2 or 3-0 in the second half, to be honest. I think it was a completely irate second half from the outfield players, so give praise to Bursic for that. And, you know, even though it's not another clean sheet, unfortunately, I think that, you know, Bursic will get a clean sheet at some point, but it's just a case of when. Brad Halliday, again, gets a 6 for me. I think he just had an okay performance, nothing too special. Did some jobs at times down the right, especially in the first half, and yeah, it's one of those days, isn't it? Joe Wright gets a 5 for me. Was not the best defender today. And fair play to Wright. You know, he's a good guy, great guy. On his day, he's one of the best defenders in this league, in my opinion. And great guy. I think he follows me on Twitter or Instagram now. No, he follows me on Instagram. So massive shout out to Joe Wright on this video. But today, it just wasn't your day, mate. And you're going to get a 5, unfortunately. And that's not me being mean. That's just me being brutally honest. Tom Anderson gets a 6. I think he was probably one of the better defenders today. I'm pushing towards a 7 for him. He was actually one of the better defenders. And again, he is that anchor in the defence that we need, and Joe Wright's the more pacier centre-back, so we've got that good balance. Man United, are you listening? Are you listening? A pacey centre-back. Not too slow coaches like Maguire and Lindelof. Reece James at left-back gets a 6. Again, nothing too special, but just an okay performance. Ben Whiteman in the midfield gets a 7 for me. I think he was the man of the match, in my opinion. I think it's competition between him and Taylor, because Taylor in the first half, oh my god, his attacking intent, and I'll get on to more of that in a bit. But Ben Whiteman, captain of the club, reason why he's one of the better players today. Even on the worst games, I think that Whiteman's been good so far, so I think that, you know, Whiteman's going to be one to watch, in my opinion. Magic Gomez gets a 5 for me. Just was not his day today. I don't know what it was. He just performed very, very averagely, especially in that second half today. James Coppinger gets a 6, got a yellow out of the blue. And, you know, it was just one of those days. Nothing too special, but just an okay average performance. Taylor Richards provided some creativity in the first half, but again, like the second half, just totally capitulated with the rest of the team. So I think that he gets an average 6 for me. John Taylor gets a 7. His first half attacking play was second to none. And in the second half, just didn't, you know, there wasn't much creativity going on with the second half, and that didn't really make him work as creatively in the second half as he did in the first. But again, just didn't do well in the second half as the rest of the squad didn't. But the first half makes up for it, and he gets a 7 from me. And finally, John Jules gets a 6. Not much serve. Well, definitely some service in the first half, but the second half, no service hardly whatsoever. So he gets an average 6 from me. Substitutes. In the 67th minute, James came off for Cameron John. He gets a 6. Just didn't do too much for me. And again, I answered this question. Why is John being made into a left-back? He is not a left-back, he's a centre-back. So I hope to see him playing in centre-back very, very soon. 71st minute, Coppinger off for Fajiri Okunabiri. He gets a 5 for me. And again, that's not me being mean to Fajiri Okunabiri, because I think he's a great guy, but I think that today was just an average performance. And in the 84th minute, Richards came off for Ed Williams at cam. So finally, we play him in his natural position. But Ed Williams didn't really show much in the game, so he just gets an average 5. But can I just say, by the way, on John Taylor, he did do a massive miss. I mean, why didn't he score that? I have no idea. But yeah, I think that going back to the attacking intent and to Ed Williams, he just didn't show much in the time that he was on the field, so he gets an average 5 from me. So there we go. That is my player ratings. Now to end the game, let's just summarise my thoughts now. Just the second half just told the story of missed chances. It comes back and bites you in the backside like a pit bull that sniffed some gravy bones that's been stuck in your back pocket of your jeans for a long time. You know, he's going to come up, he's going to sniff that, and he's going to try and bite on it, and it's going to leave a scar on your buttocks. We've been bit in the backside today with those missed chances in the first half, and you know, the second half just wasn't good. It just wasn't up to Rovers standards. I don't know what it was today. I think the first half didn't take our chances. Second half, it paid dividends. Karma's, you know, what you call it, and I think karma just bit us in the backside today in the second half with those mixed chances from the first half. Wigan can go ahead. They've got back-to-back victories now, and you know, they can go on and try and get another one at some point. But for us, we need to get back into it, and it's not going to be easy in October. And this is me referring back to that pattern on the season when we did get last promoted to the Championship in 2012-2013. You know, a good start in September, then a mid-table October where we start sliding down that league when the games start coming thick and fast. So is this the usual pattern for Rovers? Are we going to have, you know, this pattern again where it's are we going to have this sort of situation again where it's the same, it's the usual where we have a mid-table October, or like the same kind of pattern kind of thing? So it's going to be interesting. We've got 2 massive games coming up next week. We've got Tuesday, Oldham Athletic, EFL Trophy. That'll be a chance for people like Amos and Jones to play in that game, and maybe Okunabiri gets to start to rest some of those first teamers for Shrewsbury. Of course, Shrewsbury might get postponed because, of course, John Jules and Bursick have been called up to the England under squad, and Danny Amos could be called up to the Northern Ireland under squad. So that's the eligible amount of players for us to postpone the game to have those players back. So maybe Shrewsbury might not be the next game. It could be Portsmouth, which is away from home. So I think that... And to be fair, Portsmouth, they showed a good showing against Burton Albion today. Scored more than 1 goal, which is not like them this season. But there were times in that game where I'm thinking, that fan that was raising those funds to pay Jacket off of getting out of the job, maybe he should have raised a bit more money at times. But, hopefully we can take advantage of a poor managerial situation at Portsmouth. So if that's the next game, then hopefully. But if not, if it is Shrewsbury, then hopefully we can get a win out of that as well. So there we go. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this match review. I mean, I'm dejected. I really am. But it's the life of a football fan, isn't it? And the torch just came on. It's the second video on this channel where it's done that now that the channel has been, searched by a torch. But for now, guys, thank you very, very much for watching this match review. Wigan 1, Donny 0. And we just need to improve. We just need to improve against Oldham and Shrewsbury next week. So, thank you very much. My name is the CHALL, your channel of Doncaster Rovers content. Make sure you go check out all of our videos over the last week, including that very exciting one we did with AFTV on Friday afternoon. Thank you very much. And for now, guys, have a nice day. What can you do?